Canada finally crumbled under the weight of President Donald Trump's ultimatum. In a storm of heated words and sharp warnings, Trump warned that the country would pay a record-breaking price for the electricity tariff it had aimed at the United States. The air was thick with tension as the announcement sent shockwaves through both nations, leaving everyone to wonder what would come next. Barely a few hours later, Ontario's Premier Doug Ford stepped into the spotlight. With a resolute tone, he declared that the heavy 25% tariff on Canadian electricity bound for Michigan, New York, and Minnesota, introduced only that very Monday, was off the table. This sudden reversal felt as if a game of high-stakes poker had just taken a wild turn, intensifying the already charged trade conflict. Ford later revealed that he'd had a serious, no-nonsense chat with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. The two agreed to sit down on Thursday to iron out details about the counter-tariffs Trump was eyeing for April 2nd. Was this a step toward calm, or just another move in a relentless tug-of-war? The air crackled with suspense as everyone waited for answers. In response, Ontario agreed to suspend its 25% surcharge on exports of electricity to Michigan, New York, and Minnesota, Ford explained. Those simple words carried the weight of a hard-fought decision, one that signaled a shift in the unfolding drama. Not one to back down, Trump quickly countered his own threats. He promised not to hike Canadian steel and aluminium tariffs to 50%, they would remain locked at 25%. Then, with a familiar bravado, he pressed his vision: Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem. His challenge echoed like a dare. Could it really be that simple? Earlier that day, Trump had ramped up his moves by declaring a national emergency on electricity across the United States. This declaration came hand in hand with a doubling of tariffs on aluminum and steel from Canada, a fierce reaction following Ford's tariff imposition. His social media post blasted out warnings that made the tension almost tangible. In a lengthy update on his social platform, Trump didn't hold back. He went so far as to threaten that he would permanently shut down the Canadian auto sector. Every word dripped with drama, leaving many to picture an industry coming to a sudden, icy halt. The financial world didn't take the news lightly. The stock market plunged by over 500 points as nervous investors watched their portfolios shudder at the possibility of a looming recession. It was as if the entire market had gasped in unison, a stark reminder of the far-reaching impact of these decisions. When reporters pressed him on the market's tumble, Trump dismissed the worries with a casual shrug. "Nope, doesn't concern me," he said. "I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds and all the things they're buying. I think we're going to have an economy that's a real economy, not a fake economy." His confidence was as bold as it was unsettling. That same Tuesday, Trump's fury over Canada's tariff was unmistakable. His anger, echoed by economic advisor Peter Navarro, who labeled the tariff threat as a mere negotiating tactic, fanned the flames of an already heated dispute. Every word he spoke felt like a strike in a high-voltage argument. Drawing a clear line, Trump announced, based on Ontario placing a 25% tariff on electricity coming into the United States, I have instructed my Secretary of Commerce to add an additional 25% tariff, making it 50% on all steel and aluminum from Canada. He painted Canada as one of the most heavily taxed nations on record and promised that a national emergency on electricity was just around the corner. His anger didn't stop there. In another lengthy post, Trump warned that Canada would soon face a financial reckoning so enormous it would fill history books. Why would our country let another country supply us with electricity, even for a small area? Who made these decisions, and why? He thundered. The suggestion that electricity might be used as a bargaining chip sent shivers down many spines. Throughout the day, Trump's barrage against his northern neighbor continued unabated. He warned that if Canada didn't drop its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. dairy and agricultural goods, more auto tariffs would come into play on April 2nd. The threat hung heavy in the air, like the calm before a brewing storm. If other long-standing tariffs aren't dropped by Canada, I will substantially increase the tariffs on cars coming into the U.S. on April 2nd, he warned, adding that such a move could effectively shutter Canada's auto manufacturing. Yet, in a surprising twist, he offered to wipe out all tariffs if Canada would just become the 51st state. Was this a real offer or just another high-risk gamble? Meanwhile, the markets made their displeasure clear. Fears of a recession grew as the Nasdaq Composite suffered its worst loss since 2022. Investors braced themselves, caught in the uncertainty of a battle that could reshape economies. New measures targeting Canada also emerged. Soon, Canadians staying in the United States for 30 days or more will have to register their details with U.S. authorities. Starting April 11th, a new rule will require fingerprinting, news that only added to the tense atmosphere, leaving many wondering what else was in store. Trump's ramp-up in this trade war followed retaliatory moves from Ottawa after U.S. tariffs were imposed last week. With every new decision, it felt like the two countries were locked in an endless duel, a dangerous dance with unpredictable steps. That evening, Trump prepared to defend his latest tariff round at a meeting with top business leaders. He argued that these tariffs were just a transitional phase, meant to bring wealth back to America. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big, he admitted, hinting that while change takes time, the end result would be great for the nation. Even as Trump claimed the tariffs would stop harmful flows like fentanyl trafficking, the immediate impact on the market and the economy was hard to ignore. Every move added another twist to a story that seemed to have no clear ending. Never one to shy from conflict, Trump's tone grew even sharper as he accused former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of using the tariff drama to cling to power. Despite Trudeau's resignation announcement in January, Trump recalled an explosive call where he left no doubt about his fury. Justin Trudeau, of Canada, called me to ask what could be done about tariffs. I told him that many people have died from fentanyl coming through the borders of Canada and Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it has stopped, he wrote. When Trudeau mentioned improvements, Trump fired back, "That's not good enough." In a new political twist, Mark Carney was elected head of Canada's Labour Party, a move that sets him up as a strong contender for Prime Minister. In his victory speech, he vowed to take on Trump. America is not Canada, and Canada never, ever, will be part of America in any way, shape, or form, he declared. His words rang out like a battle cry, promising a fierce fight ahead. We didn't ask for this fight, but Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves, Carney added with a mix of defiance and dry humor. And with that, the stage was set for yet another chapter in a saga that shows no signs of letting up. What will the next move be?